I didn't think I needed help. I didn't think I needed to talk to anyone. I figured if I could go to war and do everything over there, I could come back here and just be the regular me.
You know, the veteran suicide rate is 60% higher than the national average. It is the second leading cause of death for our veterans under 45, but there is help and organizations working to change that grim reality, like Face the Fight and the Humana Foundation, who just donated $5 million toward that cause with a goal of saving 15,000 veteran lives by 2032. We have Tiffany Benjamin with us, who is the CEO of the Humana Foundation. Thank you so much for stopping by here at noon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we know this is an important cause, and this week about 250 leaders all across the area came together and really went through a training of sorts.
Yeah, it was a wonderful week. So we had folks from all across the country who focus on veteran serving organizations, members of the VA, other private companies come here to Louisville to talk about what we can do to reduce the rate of veteran suicide. So we trained people on how you can spot warning signs and what you can do. We also had conversations about how you reach all sorts of veterans wherever they sit, whether it's because they're in an underserved community or they're in a rural space. And we frankly came together to figure out, like, what can we do together?
Well, and I know when we talk about just being in Kentucky, when they're sitting here in Louisville, you have to look at the numbers and realize that veteran suicide in Kentucky is almost double the rate of the state average here.
Exactly. What we know is that the rate for veterans for dying by suicide is substantially higher than the civilian population.
Right.
And they've done so much for us, and we just feel like it's okay to support them and to saying I don't know what to do or I need help is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness.
What were some of the things to come out of the trainings and the meetings?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that was most exciting to me is we had all of these people all across the country really come to Kentucky and say, we've got places like Fort Knox. We have a huge military presence in this state and a veteran presence, and together we can use our voices to frankly focus on stigma, to say it's okay to say, I'm not okay, and to really talk about this. Because if you think about the veteran community, we know that oftentimes people think strength is staying quiet and being stoic. But the reality is the strongest people in the world are the ones who can say, I need help.
Well, and you heard from the gentleman, right, at the beginning of this, who, like, you think you can come back from war. No one comes back from war as the person they were when they left.
Exactly. And one of the things we know about veteran suicide is that the risk of dying by suicide is substantially higher, about 6 to 12 months after you transition out of the military. Think about it this way. You've had an identity, you've had a mission, you've known exactly what to do, and then we put you out into the world without the same sort of guide rails, without the same sort of guidance, and the people around you don't even know what you've been through or experienced, and you've experienced something very challenging, something really emotional.
And I want to get to the Humana Foundation's part in this. $5 million, where's that going?
Yeah, so we're really thrilled. So Face the Fight was founded in 2023. We were one of the founding partners of this initiative. We just committed $5 million, which is going to go to nonprofits across the country who are really focused on these issues and frankly having community-based solutions that allow veterans to get help in their own communities.
I love that. Tiffany, I thank you so much for bringing this to us and talking about this, giving people a voice here, because we want people to know if they are struggling with any thoughts of self-harm or suicide. There is that number there. That is 988. That is the suicide hotline, but specifically for our veterans. You dial 988 and you press 1.
Exactly.
That is the way to get help. There's always someone there to talk to.
And people care, and we appreciate your service. So we support you.
Yeah, they are our local heroes. We're going to do everything we can to keep you around with us. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the Humana Foundation, and stop by anytime.
I will, thanks.